Hello viewers, I am Will Keith, and today I am out here to review a couple of products from Banggood.com. And this is a Chinese company, and they reached out to me about 3 weeks ago over email to see if I would like to review and test any of their camping or survival equipment from the website. And I'm not the kind of person who's not going to do something like that. So I went for it, I picked out some of the things that I thought looked the best, and I'm going to be testing 2 of them today and 2 of them in another video. So what we have here is something called a survival rod. This is the IPRee Survival Rod, it's called. I don't know what that means, but that's what it is. And this is a pair of cut-proof gloves with a tick on them. Fuck off. Hate those guys. Alright, so first I'm going to be testing this, and I'm going to use one of the blades that's actually inside of this thing to test these gloves a bit later in the video. So this, at the base level, it's exactly what it looks like, a heavy metal stick that you could very easily club someone to death with this thing. And it has all kinds of stuff on the inside, what you're about to see. It has all kinds of different attachments, and you can unscrew it piece by piece. And now there's a big-ass mosquito. You can unscrew piece by piece to get it whatever you want. It has little markers on each of the tools that shows you what it is. Like, hopefully you'll be able to see it in the camera. But see that little picture of a knife blade right there? That shows you that's the flat blade knife. So now if I unscrew the end, I get the fixed blade serrated knife. It has part flat edge, part serrated edge, and serrated on the back. And then you can take the little butt cap, screw that onto there, and now you have just this blade with a little handle. I don't have much room to work with on this thing. And then you can unscrew one of the other segments. This here is a hollow segment. I don't know if you can see through there, but you can then take this, put the blade on top of that, screw the butt cap into here, and now you have kind of an extended handle for that if you need to reach in somewhere. And you can make that handle as long as you want with the rod, because I can take this and wait. I haven't used this too much yet. I'm still trying to sort out the exact physics of it. Wait. Oh, I see. I forgot to remove this little adapter right here. And then you can screw that on there. Take one of the butt caps, stick it on the end. And now you have kind of a short spear. So I definitely like this thing, and I do hope it's built solidly enough to get through the test of this video. I hope I don't end up breaking it, because at the end of this video I am going to be smacking it very hard into that tree a couple of times. So if it survives that, it should be able to survive any kind of attack from a human or animal. So what else have we got in here? Oh yeah, there's my favorite tool. Let me get that out of here. That's the wrong one. That is a saw. This is the one. Now, when you take another tool out, you can just slide it into the bottom there to get a little bit more length and to just keep it safe. And then I can attach this to the top of it. And now this looks at a distance just a regular flat edge knife. However, you can push this thing and you can actually fold it into a sort of small scythe type blade. And now this, as nice as it looks, isn't actually for combat. What this is for, if you're on a tropical island or some shit, you have coconuts in a low-hanging tree, you can't reach them. This, you can reach up in there and just kind of tear the coconuts or whatever kind of fruit you might have in a tree out of there. It's pretty much just an extender to a blade at an angle, and you can use this for whatever kind of tool you might have for that. The mechanism doesn't look like the strongest thing I've ever seen. I don't know if it would survive in a fight or if it would survive if I like hit it into this thing, for example, but that's not really what it's for, so I'm not going to be advertising it like that, and I'm not going to use it for that purpose. So let me get this back out of here and show you the last of the attachments, which I do believe is this. Yep. So what we have here is a saw blade. It's got a hook on the back there. It has a really nice servation to it. Definitely feels like a proper saw. And I'm going to take these little adapters. I'm going to pocket those for now. I'm going to take this block of wood that I've been abusing for like 3 months back here, and I'm going to kind of saw into it a little bit. I'm probably not going to go through the whole thing, but I just want to kind of see how it behaves. So to get kind of more ergonomics on that, I'm going to take the tube out and use it with the small handle. Oh wow, that really dug in. That feels awesome. Oh, this thing fell a little bit. Stay there. I'm really surprised at that. I can't really get a proper grip on it to like fully saw through. Yeah, without like a vise or without like leaning it on the ground, I'm not going to be having a good time if I'm trying to cut through this whole thing. But just on that first drag, I can feel how well it digs in. Oh yeah, that actually feels pretty nice now. Getting sawdust everywhere. Alright, this might be time for a fast motion montage now. So montage over. I've been sawing for about 2 minutes, and I'm maybe 1/3 of the way through the wood. So it is a really sharp blade. It's not the best saw that you could possibly be stuck with, but it's certainly better than no saw. And with the rest of the utility and self-defense potential in this rod, I wouldn't mind having it in the woods. So I'm gonna, you can kind of how far it went in there. I mean, it does its job, but it does it slowly. This thing is covered, absolutely covered in all kinds of pollen. It's all aluminum actually, which you know isn't the strongest metal, but it actually does seem to be lasting well enough. So I'm going to screw that back in here, and this goes back in there. And I'm going to take out one of these butt caps and screw the whole thing pretty tight. And now I'm going to test the kind of spear point fixed blade knife. I'm going to give it a jab into this tree. I'm going to do it a couple of times and hopefully it will stay together. I very much hope so. Unforged in fire, this is what you call a catastrophic weapons failure. I am so disappointed. I was really, really, really hoping that this thing would be good. I loved it so much. The first thrust, and that's me, I'm not exactly the strongest person in the world. That was a light thrust. Look at that. I figured if this was going to fail, it would fail here at the connection with the actual metal. Snap straight in half. Well, fucking way she goes. I don't know what I expected. I feel bad because I always appreciate it when companies offer to send me stuff for free, but that is an unacceptable failure. And that kind of gets an automatic fail for me. It can also be really hard to unscrew the component sometimes, but you can do that by having kind of a folded over piece of duct tape that grips it really well and makes it super easy to unscrew. So I'm putting this rod back together now. There are so many insects back here. I'm not going to be having a good time over the next few days. I anticipate a lot of itchiness in my near future. Alright, so I fully reassembled the rod. I'm tightening it as much as I can. And now, just to see if this thing has any value at all, I'm going to smack it up against this tree a couple of times. I feel bad for this tree. What did it ever do to me? This might really be the end of this thing. Survived the first hit, alright. That was a really light one. It's not bent or nothing. Let's try that again a little bit harder. Alright, so it actually seems to stand up to blunt force rather well. If you intend on using the tools only for like really, really light, very light utility work, it might still have a little bit of use, but still after that blade just broke like that, I cannot recommend. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to be getting out the scythe blade, if I can find it. Where is it? Yeah, the flat edge blade. And I'm going to be testing the cut-proof gloves. Look at that. That is so sad. So obviously I'm not going to be testing these gloves while they're on my hand. So I'm just going to fold it over here and do a couple of light thrusts. Yeah, as expected, they don't protect you against any kind of thrusting. That went right through. That's not really what they're for, though. They're supposed to be cut resistant. So I'm going to be dragging across the hand a few times and see what we get. But they actually seem to have repelled that rather well. There's absolutely no damage to the material. I'm going to go a little bit harder now, see what happens. I'm really dragging. Putting up a couple of threads, but still no actual damage. Trying to saw into it. Nothing. Alright, so I go ahead and say that for their purpose, they are cut resistant enough. I never expected them to be actually like stab resistant, so that's no surprise there. But I'd say these gloves pass. I don't know how they'd hold up to a big slice from a katana, but that's not what they're for. Alright, so Unfortunately, really unfortunately, I got to give this thing a hard fail. You cannot have a blade just snap like that on a light thrust. So, I hate to say it, but that's how it is. The gloves, they do what they're intended to do, so that's good enough for a passing grade for me. They fit me very well, and I have really big, meaty claws. If you have like smaller, not fat person hands, or if you're a woman, these gloves are going to be really huge on you. But I do think they come in different sizes. I got the biggest ones they had because, like I said, big meaty claws. But they're generally comfortable, and they seem to do their job. So, I mean, I guess that's about it for this video. Thank you for sending me these, and I'm really sorry that I couldn't give this thing a more favorable review, but you saw what happened, and this is advertised as a survival tool, which implies that I should be able to depend on this with my life, and I can't do that. Alright, so thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll be back with the other couple of things I got from this site on another day. Have a good one.